Thanks for tuning in, guys. Today's a special day. Today I have a guest instructor, a fellow Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Professor Roy Harris, just like myself. He's got over 25 mixed martial arts competition to his name. More importantly, my longtime friend, Brad "BONESAW" Cardinal. Thank you very much for being on the show. And what do you got for us today?
Thanks for having me, Steve. Today we're going to be going over a closed guard series. I'm going to show you 3 techniques from the overhook control. Today we're going to start from the closed guard. So I'm going to show you the control first. I'm going to start, I've got Mr. Bergeron in my closed guard. The first grip I'm going to look to secure is his head because I want to prevent that distance so he can't strike me. So I'm going to sit up, get a deep grip on his head, pull my elbow to the mat, keeping my weight on his neck. I'm going to put my foot on the hip, move my hips to the side so I'm outside of his base, close my guard around his hip, and I'm going to secure a deep overhook on this shoulder. I want to pull my thumb up towards my chin and rotate my thumb towards Steve's face. My heels are hooking across his hip, and I'm pulling my heels to my butt, squeezing my knees together like a book, and then bringing my knees to the tops of my chest. I'm going to hide my head behind Steve's head so that if he wants to hit me with this free hand, I'm relatively safe from that hand. Now Steve's got solutions to this problem, and he's going to look to extract his arm. So he's going to push with his arm to lift his head up and pull the arm out. I need to control his head, so I'm going to bail on the arm to control the head, pull to the other side, move my hips to the other side, and then re-pummel for the same position on the far side. We'll do it again. So he pushes his hand, lifts his head, I keep control of the head, move my hips, re-pummel for the same overhook control on the far side. Okay, once I've secured the position, I need to look to attack. I'm going to show you 3 attacks today, and I want to keep our attacks relatively diverse so we have a 3-dimensional guard. The first technique we're going to use is we're going to look to stand up. So I'm going to take my top leg, I'm going to unhook my guard, and put this on Mr. Bergeron's hip, and I'm going to move my hips out, and I'm going to look to secure this heel on his far hip. This ball of my foot stays on his hip flexor, and I'm pushing his hips away, keeping a tight overhook, pulling him, creating some tension on his body. At this point, I'm going to take this leg and I'm going to throw it. Similar to an axe kick in karate, I'm going to keep my abs tight so my back lifts off the mat. And as I do that, I'm going to post on my hand. I bring this leg close to my butt so I can stand up in base. I pull my leg underneath me, and I look to secure a front headlock. Okay? From here, I can look to attack the back, choke, or transition to any other positions. I'll show it one more time. I've secured the overhook control, gotten my hips to the side. I'm going to unlock my top leg, put it on his hip, so I can secure the feet on the hips and create some pressure. From here, I'm going to look to kick, to get my back off the floor, post, switch my base, and come to a front headlock. Okay, so now very often, my opponent's going to create pressure to prevent me from getting up and off my back, preventing my first technique from working. So I do the exact same setup, I get my feet on the hips, and I start to create pressure. This time, Mr. Bergeron's putting some pressure on me so that even if I kick, I can't get my back up off the floor. So I'm going to take this top leg, and I'm going to insert a butterfly hook on the inside of his hip. My bottom leg, I'm going to take it and I'm going to push him with both of my legs. I want to push him away from me and get my back up off the floor. And I'm going to post on my hand. From here, I'm going to move my hips away from him, hoping to bring this hand closer to me, get a grip on this hand, and I'm going to take my foot off of his hip, and I'm going to place it on the floor with active toes. From here, I drop my shoulder to the mat. I keep my leg connected to my chest, so as I fall, I can sweep, pushing off my support line. Hook at his butt, hand goes to the mat. Secure my weight over his belt line. One more time. I'm in my position. Feet to the hips. He's keeping pressure so I can't get my back off the floor. I insert my butterfly hook and I push with both of my legs. Post on my hand and create my angle. Trap the wrist and I pull it to my hip. At the same time, I post active toes on the floor, fall to my shoulder, and I bridge off my support leg and come to the mount. A common mistake with this sweep is people are going to be falling to their back. So if I have an opponent on top of me and I fall to the back and I try and sweep, he's going to center his weight on top of me. I need to be on one hip so that when I fall, I bridge off with my support leg here to make him sweep. So a way I can practice this movement is I'm going to sit on a line with my feet in close. I'm going to fall to my shoulder, bridge with my support leg. And I can practice that both directions to get that movement down. Okay, our final option I'm going to show today is the triangle choke. It's by far my favorite, and I really like this submission. So again, same setup. Move my feet to the hips, and in this situation, if he's keeping his elbow over top of my leg and I'm having trouble getting that in, I'm going to use my elbow to push that in by his collarbone and move his elbow out of the way so I can bring my knee inside. Okay, once I have that, I create a hook with my arm and I slide it. I want to keep contact with Mr. Bergeron's arm. I slide to the wrist. Okay, now I'm pushing my knee that direction and I'm pulling his wrist towards me, extending my shin. It creates pressure on his bicep. From here, I'm going to switch the pressure. So I push with the hand and I bring my knee to my chest. It makes even that my long leg can get over that arm. Now here, I pull my heels to my bum and I just cross my ankles. I'm not looking for the triangle yet. I don't have the position. I'm going to release this wrist, hold the back of his head, elbow to my body. Keeping his posture down, I'm preventing him from posturing up. I'm going to take my overhook out, grab my own shin close to my foot. Then keeping my knees tight, pinching together, I'm going to put my foot on his hip. What this allows me to do is start to move my head this way and my butt that way. I want to create a perpendicular angle around Mr. Bergeron's neck. This arm can hook the shoulder or the leg. If I can get the leg, is better. I want to move my butt out this direction, my toes point back, and then I close my triangle choke. For the finish, I want both of my legs facing the same direction. I'm going to pull my heels to my butt and scissor my legs like Jiminy Cricket. Like any technique or series in jiu-jitsu, this is going to require some practice. In order to practice this, I'm going to need a good training partner, somebody that can give me the right resistances that I need. I don't want to get too competitive. So I have Mr. Bergeron here. We're going to start in the closed guard. I'm going to secure the position. We're just going to go from here, and I'm going to have him give me just progressive resistance. We're not sparring. We're just feeling the position. And I'm going to look to get my feet to my hips and just see what kind of energy he gives me. There's my sweep.
So there you have it, folks. We have some tips and tricks from the man himself, Brad Bonesaw Cardinal from Calgary, Alberta. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
And we will look forward to seeing you in the mat soon.